The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach. The Island Times News Update begins right now. Here's Tom Patton.
Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. A vote on a revised special events policy in Jacksonville Beach was postponed Monday night after Mayor Charlie Latham said he would like to get more input from the public on the new policy. The city has been working on the new policy for several months, but Latham said that it is just too important to pass without making sure all parties affected by the policy had adequate input into its details. The new policy makes changes in the definitions of what is considered a special event and what is considered a festival, the latter being an event that lasts for more than 4 hours and which may involve road closures, amplified music, and the sale or consumption of alcohol. Councilman Bruce Thomason said that while he appreciated all the work that had been done by the city staff, there are still some issues that need more study.
In reviewing the policy, I found a couple of issues that I would like some legal advice on going forward, and before we finalize this. And I support the idea of having a work session in which we invite comments from our citizens. We invite comments from anyone, but I am particularly interested in hearing from residents and business people in Jacksonville Beach.
No one on the council mentioned any specific issues they have with the proposed policy, and the workshop has not yet been scheduled. A pilot program has been established in Jacksonville Beach to experiment with low-volume outdoor sound at businesses with outdoor seating areas in the city. The Jacksonville Beach City Council on Monday night gave final approval to an ordinance that repeals and replaces the previous sound ordinance, which only allowed outdoor music at 16 grandfathered businesses in the city. Those businesses will still be allowed to have louder amplified music, much to the dismay of some residents who spoke before the council. The previous ordinance had been put in place in 2002. Under the new ordinance, low volume is defined as music that is played at a level that does not hinder normal conversation between two people who are 3 feet apart. Councilman Phil Vogelsang said there was a misconception that more businesses would be allowed to have loud amplified music, but that part of the policy has not changed. It only allows for ambient music that, in his view, will enhance the beach feeling of the community.
Simply what this also does is allow businesses to have their TVs on their back porch. If you go to, let's say, a sports bar, Sneakers, and he has an outdoor seating area, he's not supposed to have any sound out there on the patio. So this gives him the opportunity to have that ambient sound without moving chairs, without moving seating. I think it adds a nice element for businesses to be able to utilize.
Councilwoman Christine Hoffman said she expects the program will be successful, but she's willing to evaluate the policy at the end of the trial period to be sure it's working as intended.
From the small businesses that I've spoken to, it's going to be a very welcome change to what we currently have. If you want to play music or turn on a football game outside, the answer is no. There's not even any option. So right now we're giving an option with a lot of restrictions. So it's still very, very restricted. It's very, very limited in what they're going to be able to do, but at least the answer is not no.
The trial period for the new policy ends on June 5th, 2018, unless it is adopted as a permanent policy by the council. The Neptune Beach City Council moved a step closer to allowing backyard hens in the city with initial passage of a pilot program Monday night. The pilot program will be restricted to 25 permits citywide for backyard hens. The permits cost the applicant $50. Hens must be kept in coops and not allowed to be loose on their owner's property. The coop must be screened from neighbors, and a building permit for the structure will have to be obtained. Potential chicken farmers in Neptune Beach will be required to complete a course offered by the Duval County Agricultural Extension Office. The pilot program will not allow hens to be kept at multifamily residences, such as duplexes and triplexes. Councilman Rory Diamond said that he has concerns about allowing hens to be kept east of 3rd Street. He said he might offer a friendly amendment to the program that would allow hens in zoning districts largely west of 3rd Street and then phase in other areas if it's successful. Councilman Scott Wiley maintained his opposition to the program, raising concerns about noise and sanitation that can be associated with backyard hens. The initial vote on the program was 4-1, with only Councilman Wiley voting no. It will be on the agenda for a second vote at the Council's voting meeting in July. Well, when we come back, a look at the recently completed legislative session from a Beaches perspective. This is the Island Times News Update.
The news you can count on. The Island Times News Update will be right back.
Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The Florida State Legislature passed numerous laws that will have a direct impact on the Beaches communities, many of which take decisions away from local governments. Jacksonville Beach City Manager George Forbes discussed several of the laws at the Beaches Watch meeting Wednesday night. He started with laws that did not pass, most notably the enacting legislation for the constitutional amendment approving the sale of medical marijuana in the state. Forbes said that the issue has been back before the legislature during this week's special session. The bill that had been considered would have allowed local governments to determine where medical marijuana dispensaries could be located through zoning ordinances. Forbes also predicted that the legislature would approve recreational marijuana in the state within 5 to 7 years. The legislature also did not pass laws that would have prevented local governments from regulating vacation rentals and the timing of local elections, and one that would have abolished community redevelopment areas. The legislature did approve an increase in the state's homestead exemption to $75,000 and places a 10% cap on property tax increases for non-homesteaded properties. The changes must be approved by the state's voters in 2018 before they would go into effect. If that referendum passes, Jacksonville Beach would see a reduction in its property tax receipts of about $500,000, while Atlantic Beach would lose $250,000, and Neptune Beach would see a cut of about $180,000.
The number one concern I have right this minute is that the city of Jacksonville is increasing their public safety. They've already done it, increasing public safety pay by over 20% over the next 3 years. And if the beach cities are going to be able to keep public safety, police departments, we're going to have to at least have substantial increases in our pay of our cities too, which is going to create substantial financial decisions for our cities.
Forbes said that he might have to consider a slight increase in the city's millage rate to cover the expected increases. The legislature also passed a law that allows telecommunications companies to place small cell phone towers in the public right-of-way without the permission of the local government, and a law that prevents local governments from passing regulations regarding drones. Local governments were allowed for the first time to file bills in the legislature. Forbes said the only local bill that passed was a budget item that would have allocated $400,000 to Neptune Beach for a drainage project on Florida Boulevard, but that fell victim to the governor's line item veto. A video recording of Forbes' entire presentation is posted on the Beaches Watch website. Applications are being accepted for the Citizen Police Academies in both Jacksonville Beach and Atlantic Beach for summer sessions. The Jacksonville Beach Police Department is accepting applications until the end of June for classes that begin July 13th. Participants meet weekly on Thursday nights through October 5th in the Jacksonville Beach Police Department Squad Room. In Atlantic Beach, the 3-hour classes run from August 17th through November 2nd, also on Thursday nights. Applications are being accepted through July 31st. In both cities, the academies cover the principles of modern police work and include a ride-along with a police officer, as well as a visit to a gun range where participants are given an opportunity to shoot police firearms. The registration fee for both academies is $25, and I'm a proud graduate of Class 29, of the Jacksonville Beach Citizen Police Academy. The Beaches Museum and History Park will host an opening night reception Friday, June 16th at 6 p.m. as the museum's newest exhibit is unveiled. Tide Runs Quiet, the photographic works of Thomas Hagar, will showcase the work of an incredibly talented local artist. Thomas Hagar is a nationally recognized fine art photographer whose work can be found in notable galleries, museums, publications, and private and corporate collections worldwide. The recent works of Hagar are a series of largely photographically based compositions on paper depicting recreated scenarios of coastal landscapes. The event is free to museum members, with a suggested $5 donation for non-members. And coming up, the weather for the week ahead. This is the Island Times News Update.
The news you can count on. The Island Times News Update will be right back.
Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the Beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first.
The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach, forecasting your beaches. This is your local look weather.
Well, the National Weather Service says we can expect mostly sunny skies on Saturday and a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Sunday night. Then there's a daily chance of rain through the first part of next week, though nothing like the soaking rains we've seen this week. Highs over the weekend will be in the low 80s, and lows will fall into the mid-70s, and that pattern will continue through midweek next week. The Island Times is always digital, always free at theislandtimes.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to be the first to know about stories posted on the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.